Haiti, the Caribbean nation synonymous with resilience, finds itself ensnared in a brutal and escalating war. This is not a war fought between nations but a conflict waged by heavily armed gangs against innocent civilians. The streets of Haiti, particularly its capital, Port-au-Prince, are stained with the blood of its own people. The nation is held hostage not by a foreign power but by the terror inflicted by these ruthless gangs. This violence is not random. It is systematic, strategic, and aimed at consolidating power. Gangs, armed with weapons more potent than those carried by the police, vie for control of territory, resources, and ultimately, the nation's future. Caught in the crossfire are millions of Haitians, their lives shattered, their hope dwindling. The world watches, seemingly powerless, as a nation once vibrant with promise teeters on the brink of collapse. The roots of this crisis run deep, entangled in a complex web of political instability, poverty, and a history marred by exploitation. Yet the current violence represents a horrifying escalation, a descent into an abyss of unchecked brutality. The world can no longer afford to turn a blind eye to the plight of the Haitian people. The stories emerging from Haiti are not mere statistics. They represent lives tragically cut short, families torn apart, and a generation scarred by trauma. The international community has a moral obligation to act, to provide more than just condolences, and to offer Haiti a lifeline of hope in its darkest hour. The human cost of Haiti's hidden war is staggering. Over 5,600 souls perished at the hands of gang violence in 2024 alone. Thousands more bear the physical and emotional scars of injury and kidnapping. These figures, though horrifying, fail to capture the true magnitude of the suffering. Behind each number lies a story of a life tragically interrupted, a family shattered, a community torn asunder. Children, the most vulnerable victims of this senseless war, are disproportionately impacted. Over half of the 1 million internally displaced Haitians are children, their childhoods stolen, their futures uncertain. These children, robbed of their innocence, are forced to confront a reality more brutal than any nightmare. They witness unspeakable acts of violence, endure starvation, and live with the constant threat of displacement or death. The psychological toll is immeasurable. The long-term consequences for a generation profound. The displacement figures, alarming as they are, only paint a partial picture. They cannot quantify the fear that permeates daily life, the despair of living without basic necessities, or the erosion of hope that accompanies each passing day. The world must understand, these are not just numbers on a page, but real lives shattered by a conflict that shows no sign of abating. Port-au-Prince, once a vibrant hub of Caribbean culture, is now a city held captive by fear. Armed gangs wielding military-grade weapons control an estimated 85% of the capital. They operate with impunity, their reign of terror marked by kidnappings, extortion, and brutal displays of violence. The rule of law has crumbled, replaced by the law of the gun. Daily life is a dangerous gamble, with residents risking their lives just to access essential services. The echoes of gunfire have become a grim soundtrack to the city's existence, a constant reminder of the chaos that reigns. The violence is not confined to turf wars between rival gangs. Civilians, often targeted based on their neighborhood or perceived allegiance, find themselves caught in the crossfire. Massacres, once unthinkable, have become a horrifying reality. In December 2024, the Wharf Jeremy gang, in a display of unimaginable cruelty, massacred over 207 people in Cité Soleil. This is not merely gang violence, it is a calculated assault on the very fabric of Haitian society. The international community must recognize the gravity of the situation. Port-au-Prince is not just a city under siege, it is a city on the verge of being consumed by the abyss. Section 4. A Cry for Help, the Humanitarian Crisis. The situation in Haiti has reached a critical point. Families are struggling to find basic necessities like food, clean water, and shelter. The healthcare system is overwhelmed, and many are unable to access the medical care they desperately need. It's a dire situation that requires immediate attention and action. Despite the urgency of the crisis, the global response has been, well, insufficient. Promises of aid and support have often fallen short, leaving many Haitians to fend for themselves. It's a stark reminder of the gap between words and actions on the international stage. The world, it seems, has failed to provide the necessary assistance to alleviate the suffering in Haiti.